Hello. Welcome to another lesson. And today we have other ideas. And what we do in other ideas is like we don't follow a particular song. We look at some things that we can probably learn on the instrument. This section is going to be like the modes. It's going to be in two parts, right? So the first part, we're going to try and understand it. And the next time we have other ideas again, we look at the part two where we try and apply these things that we've learned. All right, so what are the modes? By now, some of us, we already know what the modes are, or probably we've heard them, but probably we have not really sat down and seen some of these clues that can really help us understand the modes very well. So we are going to look at these clues. All right, so we have the 7 modes: the Ionian, which is also known as the major scale, the normal major scale we know, the Dorian, the Phrygian, the Lydian, the Mixolydian, the Aeolian, or the natural minor, and the Locrian. So 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Great. And by now, most of us are very familiar with the Ionian mode, which is the major scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That is the formula. There is a reason why the formula is like that, but we're not going into it. I just want us to look at the clues so we can get our modes very easy, right? So for example, if like we say a C major scale or C Ionian, we know we are supposed to play this. This is a very common thing that we know, great, because we are applying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. What if we are supposed to find for the other modes? What are we supposed to do? All right, now listen carefully. I'm going to give you the clues. You've heard that music moves in fourths and fifths, right? Great, so that is one clue. And there is a progression, a very common progression that most of us have heard before. 7, 3, 6, 2, 5. 7, 3, 6, 2, 5. Great, we are going to use that. All right, what you have to do is, assuming you don't know all these formulas, right? You don't know that you have to play a flat what on this. Great, just count from the Ionian. So the next one we get in the mode is going to be the Mixolydian, because we're counting 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It falls on the Mixolydian. Great. And we are using that progression. 7, 3, 6, 2, 5. So the first one we are applying the flat on, or the accidental, is going to be the 7. That is why you have the Mixolydian as your flat 7. Great. It's a clue. All right. I'll give you a lot of examples so you get to see it. Right. So, for example, if we are playing a C Mixolydian, it says that we should play a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 5, a 6, and not our normal 7, but a flat 7, then a 1. Da, dee, dee, da, dee, dee, da, da. Great. All right. The next one from the Mixolydian is going to be the Dorian. How do we know? We just count 5 steps away. All right, starting from this. Or you can even count backwards. If you're counting backwards, then it's going to be 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It falls on the Dorian. Great. Using that same progression, 7, we already have the flat on it. So the next one is going to be a 3. Good. That is why we have the flat 7, flat 3 for the Dorian. Great. Now, let's see if we're saying we're playing a C Dorian. It says we should play a 1, a 2, a flat 3. This is your 3. So this is going to be your flat 3. Then your 4, your 5, then your 6. Then we have the flat 7 and back to our 1. So this is the C Dorian. Great. Let's move on. For example, if we are supposed to find the next one, we'll go to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It falls on the Aeolian, which is the natural minor. Assuming we don't know the formula to be like this, we're still using that progression, 7, 3, 6. So it falls on the 6. Oh, great. So we have a flat on the 7, a flat on the 3, and a flat on the 6. For example, a C natural minor or the C Aeolian. We have a 1, a 2, a flat 3, a 4, a 5, it says a flat 6, a flat 7, and a 1. Then we get the C Aeolian. Great. From the Aeolian, the next one we have is the Phrygian. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It falls on the Phrygian. Great. The same progression. 7, 6, 7, 3, 6, 2. Great. So you get to see that the Phrygian has the flat 7, the flat 3, the flat 6, then the flat 2. Great. C Phrygian, for example, if we are playing C Phrygian, it says we should play a 1, a flat 2, a flat 3, a 4, a 5, then the flat 6, flat 7, and the 1. Great. So this is giving us the C Phrygian. Great. Now let's go on to the next one. The next one is going to be the Locrian. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It falls on the Locrian. So we're using the same progression. 7, 3, 6, 2, 5. Okay. So it falls on the 5. Great. Look. 7, 3, 6, 2, 5. If we are playing a C Locrian, for example, says we should play a 1, a flat 2, a flat 3, a 4, a flat 5. This is your 5, so a flat 5, a flat 6, flat 7, then your 1. Great. To give you your C Locrian. Great. Then the next one we have is a special one, the Lydian. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is having the sharp 4 is a special one. There's a special reason for that, but I don't want us to really go into too much of theory to waste our time. So just know that the Lydian is special. It is different from the other ones. So it has the sharp 4 because probably we've already applied the accidentals on all of the numbers. It's just left with the 4 and the 1, right? So we are not going to touch the 1 because our 1 is the main thing we're getting everything from, right? So we have the sharp on the 4. Good. For example, if we're playing a C Lydian, it says we should play a 1, a 2, a 3, a sharp 4. This is your 4, so a sharp 4 is going to be this. Then your 5, your 6, and your 7, and probably get back to your 1 or your 8. Da, dee, 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 da, dee, 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 to give you your C Lydian. Great. The sharp 4, very special, right? You can have other examples by yourself and probably use these formulas or maybe the clues that I've given you, and you see that is very easy. It's not difficult. All right, let's look at this. After that, we'll throw everything away and we'll see that, oh, maybe we don't even need this. We will look at the keyboard and some clues on the keyboard, right? I've done something by myself and I've written Ayo, 1, Do, 2, 3, 3, Li, 4, Mixo, 5, Ayo, 6, Lo, 7, and Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Ti to help us understand it better. And this is the standard formula that probably when you search you would find, like they'll give you this whole step, half step, and all of these things. For example, if you don't know how to get mixolydian, oh, mixolydian, this is the formula, I don't know it. Don't worry. What you have to do is, listen, try and get these things stuck in your brain. I'm giving you something that you can recite. Ayo, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, li, 4, mixo, 5, ayo, 6, lo, 7. And to make it very interesting, you can even add some little things like like we used to be kids and we recite some things, right? I think it's funny, but it's very useful. What do I mean by that? Ayo, 1 do, 2 free, 3 li, 4 mixo, 5 ayo, 6 lo, 7 You recite this like for about 1 to 2 weeks. You get to see that it gets stuck in your brain. You think it's funny, but try it and see, right? So assuming I don't know all of these formulas, right? But I just know whole step, half step, whole step, half step. That is the major. This is a very common one that we know. All right. What I need to do is, for example, if I hear a mixolydian, I said mixo 5 oh, very useful, mixo 5. So it means that my mixolydian is the 5th. So it's going to fall on this if I count. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Great. So it means I will start arranging from this place. Whole step, half step, whole step, half step, whole step. Great. Let's check if we're correct. Whole step, half step, whole step, half step, whole step. Okay, we're correct. So let's have an example on the instrument. For example, we hear a G mixolydian. We're like, oh my God, we don't know. Mixo 5 and we use the clue that I've given us. We get to see that we have our G, right? And the next one we are supposed to play is a whole step. Then it says another whole step. Then it says a half step. We don't have a black key here, so this is going to be our half step. Then it says a whole step, another whole step, then a half step. We don't have a black key here, so this becomes our half step. Then it says whole step. So this is going to be your G mixolydian if we are supposed to use this formula. If you even want to check to know you're right, you can just flip and see. Mixolydian has a flat 7. Oh, it means we're correct. Look, this is the G major scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, and flat 7. Great. So we are getting the G mixolydian as this. Great. Probably let's look at 2 more examples to help us, and the other ones you can do them by yourself, right? If like we hear something like Phrygian, like, oh God, what is that? 3, oh, very useful. We will break this down, don't worry. 3, so we're counting to the 3rd. 1, 2, 3. Oh, it falls here. So we're going to start half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step, whole step, whole step. Let's check. Half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step, whole step, whole step. So for example, if like we are saying we are playing a C Phrygian, it says from our C we should play a half step. Great, so a half step is going to be like this. Then it says we should play a whole step, then a whole step, then it says that we should play a whole step, then a half step, then the whole step, and the whole step. Good, so this is going to be our C Phrygian. Very interesting. All right, let's look at the last example. Then we come to the keyboard. Yeah, I really like the clues on the keyboard. Very useful clues. All right, so the last example, we can take a Dorian, right? If we hear Dorian. We're like, oh, okay, what is that? Don't worry. Let's recite. Do, to, ah. I think it's funny, right? But it's very useful. Do, to, ah. So, 1, 2, it falls here. We start from here. Whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step, whole step. Oh, okay, let's check. Whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step, whole step. Great. So for example, if we are taking F Dorian, using the formula that we've got, we get to see that F, the next one we have is a whole step. Great. And it says a half step. Great. And it says a whole step. Then it says a whole step. Then it says a whole step. Then a half step and a whole step. So this is going to be our F Dorian. Very nice. All right. Now, I would show us that we probably don't need these formulas, but they're there to help us. Some of us, maybe we really have to rely on these to learn. And I've given you a lot of clues. You can look at them, right, and practice them. But assuming that we don't have all of these formulas, we don't know what to do, right? Listen to this very carefully. What you have to do is you should at least know your major scale in all 12 keys. At least know your major scale in all 12 keys. I'm not saying you should be able to play in all 12 keys, no. Just know your major scales in all 12 keys. It's going to be very helpful. So what do I mean by that? If, like I say, F major, you should know right away your F major is like this. This major is the Ionian mode. Great. So it means that we're going to work all the other modes against our major scale or the Ionian mode. All right. If I say E flat major, you should know right away your E flat major is like this. Great. That is a very basic thing you should know. All right. Now, for example, I hear something like F Dorian, assuming I don't have any formula, right? I don't have all of these things that we've looked at. Like, oh, F Dorian, what am I supposed to play? Do you remember the recitals, right? Do, to, ah. Okay, so I know F should be a 2 of something. Look, F is the 2 of what? E flat. Great. So right away, I know my F Dorian is going to be like this. But this is the clue. You are going to use the E flat major scale, but you're starting on the F. Da, 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 da. Great. Then you get your F Dorian. We are even going a step further to give you another clue. Another clue, you should know that this is sounding like a re, re, re. So it means you're just going to play from re to re, but you are in E flat because this is the 2 of E flat. Great. Re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, re. Re, do, ti, la, so, fa, mi, re. Then you are in that mode. Very nice. Right. Let's look at probably some few more examples to help some of us who need more examples before we understand. Right. So assuming I hear E Phrygian, right away I know my E Phrygian is going to be like this. Great. How do I know? Because probably I'm reciting the Phry 3. So I know my Phrygian is the 3rd of something. E Phrygian is the 3rd of what? C. Oh, okay. So we are going to use the C major scale or the C Ionian to get our Phrygian mode, which is the E Phrygian. But we're starting on the third. Great. So this is the clue. All right. So you can see that it is having this mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, re, mi. I remember when I was a kid, some of us, we went for choir practice and there was this, I think, something that you use for voice training. They go like, as a favor, please sing for me this scale of C. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. They're using that mode. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. They are in the Ionian mode. Do, ti, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. So you see, this is the Ionian mode or the major scale. Then they change. They're like mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, re, mi, re, do, ti, la, sol, fa, mi. Oh, okay. So they are in the E Phrygian mode because they're starting from the E and going up. Great. All right. Let's look at another one. For example, if we say a G Locrian, you're like, oh my God, what is that? G Locrian. Don't worry. Right away, I would know that my G Locrian is supposed to be like this. Right? How? Because I am going to recite Lo 7. So it means that my G is the seventh of something. Look, G is the seventh of A flat. So I'm going to use that A flat major scale, right? But I'll start from the seventh, which is my G, right? To give me that G Locrian. So let's get the A flat major. Great. So it means we're starting from the G. Da, 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 da. Great. Da, 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 da. So for example, if like I play this, you'll be like, okay, what is the guy playing? No, I'm just in that G Locrian. Great. Very nice example. Right. Probably we're going to look at the last example and you can just practice these things by yourself. I've given you a lot of clues that you can use to get your modes. Then in part 2, we will look at how to use the modes, all right? Let's look at another one. If maybe we say F mixolydian, F mixolydian. I'm like, oh Jesus, what is that? F mixolydian. F mixolydian should be like this. Great. How do I know my F mixolydian is like that? Mixo 5. This is where you get to see that the recital is very useful. Mixo 5. So it means my F should be a fifth of something. My F is the fifth of B flat. So I'm going to use the B flat major scale or B flat Ionian. And I will start from the F. Great. So do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. That is my B flat major scale, right? But I'm starting from the fifth. Da, 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 da. Great. Or you can see it as sol, la, ti, do, re, mi, fa, sol. And it gives you that F mixolydian. Great. I've taken my time to give you a lot of clues with these modes that we can have in music, right? From these modes, we get a lot of progressions, a lot of scales. Even some of these scales that we're playing, we'll be like, okay, play, what is it? maybe Ionian sharp 5. When somebody says something like that, you're like, okay, what is the person saying? No, you don't have to be confused. We look at some usages of all of these modes in part 2, right? Great. Have fun with music, and I'll see you. Bye.